Apti Alaudinov, the commander of Chechen's Akhmat special forces and a senior official in Russia's defense hierarchy, has issued a sharp warning to foreign fighters supporting Ukraine. In an interview with Russian media, Alaudinov described what he called the swift and heavy losses suffered by Colombian mercenaries attempting to cross into Russia's Kursk region. The commander claimed that many of these fighters misunderstood the nature of the battlefield, believing it would be easy, comparing their approach to a hunting expedition or adventure tourism, a view he dismissed as dangerous fantasy.
The Colombians realized where they ended up, that Russia is not a place for them to go for a walk, much less a safari.
According to Alaudinov, several nationalities have been identified among the foreign fighters, with Poles and Georgians making up the largest groups. He said fighters from the United States, Germany, France, and even Colombia had also been documented. Most, he said, had underestimated the Russian military's readiness and capacity to respond. He claimed that Russian forces, including his own Akhmat units, had eliminated a significant number of these fighters during their operations along the border and in Russian territory.
There were a lot of foreigners, especially in the first period. They thought that this was a safari for them. They could walk around in R5, show what handsome boys they were, and leave as winners. I want to say with pride that Russian units destroyed most of those foreigners who entered the territory of the Russian Federation.
In a notable shift from the battlefield updates, Alaudinov addressed Ukrainian soldiers directly in the same interview. He said his intention has always been to preserve the lives of Ukrainians, especially those who had not been heavily involved in combat. He expressed a belief that many Ukrainian soldiers were misled and said those who had not, in his words, stained their hands in blood, still had a chance to lay down their arms and even join Russian ranks. The Akhmat commander said the door was open to Ukrainians willing to abandon the fight and stand alongside Russia in what he called a spiritual and ideological battle.
And those of them who have not yet stained their hands elbow deep in blood, they have the opportunity to stand in one line with us, so that together we can defeat this army of the Antichrist Gajali.
Alaudinov stressed that his forces include Ukrainians who have already crossed over and joined the Russian side. Among them, he said, is a commander within his own special forces, a Ukrainian fighter known by the call sign Kokhol. The commander cited this as proof that reconciliation is possible and repeated his belief that Ukraine and Russia remain part of the same broader cultural and historical family.
I believe that Ukrainians are our brothers, whom we must return back to our bosom, so that they wake up, realize where they are. I want to note that in the Special Forces Akhmat, I have fighters of Ukrainian nationality, including one of the detachment commanders, a Ukrainian with the call sign Hokol.
The comments come amid continued fighting on multiple fronts and a growing number of international fighters joining the conflict. While Ukraine receives broad backing from Western nations, Russia has consistently warned that it considers foreign combatants legitimate military targets. Alaudinov's statements reflect not only Russia's military posture, but also its outreach to Ukrainian troops, offering what he calls a path to unity for those willing to defect.